I'm gonna film this video while I have the energy to do it. So, hi, Katie, back on the internet. I had surgery last week to fix a hiatus hernia, and we discovered that I had a second hernia, so they had to fix that as well, which they did, which I'm super excited that they did that. Thanks, guys. And now we are deep in the healing process. I wanted to share about my hospital experience and what the plan is now for recovery and how that is as a disabled person, because I think it's a little bit different to some people. So let's get into it. Okay, so I had surgery and was in hospital for 2 days. I then went home and started the whole recovery process at home. I think it's way easier to heal at home just because you are surrounded by your own stuff and you're comfy and you can be as needy and grumpy as you want to be or need to be without worrying about making the nurses grumpy. That's great. My hospital experience this time was not horrendous. I do also think that it has a lot to do with the fact that we prepared emotionally for it to be not great, but also I shared very openly with my doctor that I was anxious about it, not the surgery part, but about my disability support needs side of hospital staying. And so we made a whole plan, and he was very open and committed to those needs being supported, and he understands me, I feel, and I trust him to make decisions that would align with my feelings. I was talking to my mom about it today, and we were just saying that we trust that he knows me enough to know what I would want. I only found out about this today, that when I got out of the surgery, he called my mom and told her that I was fine and everything went well and whatever, and I was supposed to be in high care. But they're not gonna put me there. They're gonna put me in the general ward because he knows how I feel about high care and ICU units and how I need windows. And that's such a random thing for him to pay attention to, but I'm really grateful for that. And throughout my whole time in the hospital, he kept saying to me, "Don't worry, I'm trying to get you to windows." So I deeply appreciate that. I don't know if that's a weird thing. If you have a need for windows and natural light, if you are in hospital, comment below and let me know that I'm not weird and alone in that. It's important to me that I feel understood by my doctor and that he supports my choices, even if they kind of are weird and don't make a lot of sense, but when they're explained, they make sense. So that was great. I think one of the other benefits that we had this time was that we went into this experience with the approach that we needed to teach people how to support my disability needs, that we don't expect them to know everything and to know how exactly to do everything. So if we can go into it with a teaching attitude, then it kind of makes it easier for us. Then it's easier for us to work with them because it's not from a place of like, oh, you should know this. It's from a place of like autonomy and us explaining the best and easiest ways to help me, because we've learned over 31 years what the best strategies are. So that made things better. But also knows that I don't want to be in hospital, and I need like a mission to focus on for healing and stuff. So keeping me there is not the most, it's not the best place for me. So I came out on day 3 and went home and basically slept on the couch forever. Now I have to heal. So the thing about healing is that it can take time. And the thing about me is that I am not always the most patient of people when it comes to my body and letting it do its thing. I'm working on it, and it's a process. But this one is a little rough because I'm physically fine and my organs are where they are supposed to be now, which is great. Love that for me. I also got like a crazy story about medical history from Ian about how like the guy who devised this surgery, Nissen. Okay, I'm gonna put the name of the procedure like here somewhere. So he devised the surgery and like he wasn't even trying to solve this problem, like he was trying to solve something else. He was a Turkish guy who ended up in like Germany or something, and he was working there and then moved to the US and got support for like his research, and he ended up being a surgeon for Albert Einstein, and he worked on him with like some aortic issue. Obviously they didn't have the same what they have now, and what they actually ended up doing was cling wrapping things together and then like cling wrapping. Anyways, that evolved into what they do now, and they kind of wrap parts of the stomach around the esophagus so that the valve can close. The way that medical procedures evolve is insane to me. Like, if you need a rabbit hole to go down, guys, it's medical history. It's crazy. But I feel better knowing that stuff now because I'm not the first guy that they did that on. Like, I know what they're doing now, and they have keyhole surgery now, so it's way better. Healing is way better now. Way faster. Way less risky. So, let's appreciate that we were born in this era. Anyway, what a tangent that was. But back to my specific healing journey. The main thing of my healing process and recovery is how I eat. This is hard and important because I haven't really been eating for like 8 months. And because I felt sick and it was like it was the whole thing. So like I haven't been eating a lot, so I have to kind of relearn how to eat and what to eat practically. Right now, I have to do a liquid diet for 2 weeks and then 6 weeks-ish of soft food. So I'm frustrated because I feel a little bit like a toddler, like a baby, where you're introducing foods and figuring out whether like the body is gonna freak out about it or not. But it's okay. The entire goal is to not throw up and not retch, because the stitches and stuff, and also the valve has to, we just need to make it strong and give it time to get strong. And so we start slow. That's currently where we are at now. I'm eating a lot of soups and custards and things. So if you have recipes for mixed liquid, let me know. I think this is gonna be an interesting experience though, because I need to try different things and I'm not super spontaneous with food, so like I'm taking it as an opportunity to grow and like expand some stuff while we are limited in what we can try. I'm gonna share more about that because I have a complicated relationship with food, and so I think that might be helpful to some people, sharing the insider info on that. And also just like fun for sharing different ideas for what you can make, alongside nutrition shakes and protein powder and like blending smoothies. I really want to try new-ish things. So that's the journey that we are on currently, and it's week 1. So I'll keep you posted on how the weeks progress, how I'm feeling about things, and how the healing is going. Apart from the food and stuff, it's not as big of a deal. I just didn't realize how much you actually use your diaphragm for, or like how many activities your diaphragm is involved in your body. I'll have to figure out like what the plan is for when we run. So I'll share some of that as well. And yeah, let's see how this whole thing unfolds.